Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, Chapter 14, text number 36 onwards. Sa naha prasidatam bhamo Bhagavan urvanugraha Vyadasyapi anukampyanam Strinam deva sati patihi. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Let him be pleased with us, since he is my brother-in-law, the husband of my sister Sati. He is also the worshipable Lord of all women. He is a personality of all opulences, can show mercy towards women who are excused even by uncivilized hunters. Purport. Lord Shiva is the husband of Sati, one of the sisters of Diti. Diti invoked the pleasure of her sister Sati, so that Sati would request her husband to excuse her. Besides that, Lord Shiva is a worshipable Lord of all women. He is naturally very kind towards women, on whom even the uncivilized hunters also show their mercy. Since Lord Shiva is himself associated with women, he knows very well their defective nature, and he might not take very seriously Diti's unavoidable defense, which occurred due to her faulty nature. Every virgin girl is supposed to be a devotee of Lord Shiva. Diti remembered her childhood worship of Lord Shiva and begged his mercy. Text 37. Maitreya uvacha swasargasya shisham lokyam ashashanam pravepatim nivrita sandhya niyamo bharya maha prajapatihi. Maitreya said, the great sage Kashyapa thus addressed his wife, who was trembling because of fear that her husband was offended. She understood that he had been dissuaded from his daily duties of offering evening prayers, yet she desired the welfare of her children in the world. Text 38. Kashyapa uvacha aprayatyad atmanaste doshan mauhurtikaduta mananideshati charena devanam chati helanan. The learned Kashyapa said, because of your minds being polluted, because of defilement of the particular time, because of your negligence of my directions, and because of your being apathetic to the demigods, everything was inauspicious. Purport. The conditions for having good progeny in society are that the husband should be disciplined in religious and regulatory principles, and the wife should be faithful to the husband. In Bhagavad Gita it is said that sexual intercourse according to religious principles is a representation of Krishna consciousness. Before engaging in sexual intercourse, both the husband and wife must consider their mental condition, the particular time, the husband's direction, the obedience to the demigods. According to Vedic society, there is a suitable auspicious time for sex life, which is called the time for Garbhadhana. Diti neglected all the principles of scriptural injunction, and therefore, although she was very anxious for auspicious children, she was informed that her children would not be worthy to be the sons of a Brahmana. There is a clear indication herein that a Brahmana's son is not always a Brahmana. Personalities like Ravana and Hiranyakashipu were actually born of Brahmanas, but they were not accepted as Brahmanas because their fathers did not follow the regulatory principles of their birth, for their birth. Such children are called demons or Rakshasas. The There were only one or two Rakshasas in the previous ages due to negligence of disciplinary methods. But during the age of Kali, there is no discipline in sex life. How then can one expect good children? Certainly unwanted children cannot be a source of happiness in society. But through the Krishna consciousness movement, they can be raised to the human standard by chanting the holy name of God. That is a unique contribution of Lord Chaitanya to human society. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta. So Diti is continuing her pleading and prayers. Now she is trying to pray to Lord Shiva through Sati, her sister, again through brother-in-law, to the brother-in-law, because they were both sisters, Diti and Sati, and Lord Shiva was married to Sati. So she trying to approach different ways to beg forgiveness at the fear of the consequences of her act. And in the next verse, it is said that Kashyapa says that you have dissuaded me from my evening prayers with the self-interest of welfare of children, your children. Then he says, because of your minds, so many reasons he gives, because of your minds being polluted, that is number one reason. Why everything is inauspicious? Because one is pollution of your mind by lust. Second, because of defilement of the particular time. You had no respect for that prohibited time. Prohibited time has to be respected by not doing things which are directed not to be done during that time. That is because of defilement of the particular time. Next, because of your negligence of my directions. So, Kashyapa Muni gave direction, told her not, please wait, not to insist now. So, because of negligence of my directions, because of your being apathetic to the demigods, you had no respect for the demigods. That is why now you are in a fix. You have hurt Lord Shiva. And that these are the reasons why everything was inauspicious. So, you can see that such a big consequence is there of engaging in, even between husband and wife, in sexual intercourse at an inappropriate time with inappropriate mental attitude. The consequences are described here, the birth of Hiranyakashipu, demons like Hiranyakashipu, and what to speak of, as Prabhupada says, in the modern day, there is no discipline at all how to beget children. Garbhadana samskara is the process by which the time is chosen, different demigods or whatever, whatever one has to follow, all the rituals, everything is also arranged, and then only engage in sexual intercourse according to religious principles. Krishna says that is a very auspicious thing, and it is me. I am sex life according to regulative principles. So Prabhupada says that this is sexual intercourse according to religious principles is a representation of Krishna consciousness. And in the modern world, as Prabhupada says, even one such violation of discipline created such a havoc in this material world. So what to speak of, practically everybody who is born is like a Rakshasa, because there is no discipline at all of samskara, Garbhadana samskara. So how can we expect good children? And Prabhupada says the only solution is that by following the Krishna consciousness movement, they can be raised to the human standard by chanting the holy names of God. That is a unique contribution of Lord Chaitanya to human society. So we need to take all these things from the Vedic perspective, that how the Vedic perspective, from the Vedic perspective, the present population is looked upon as a fallen society, degraded society, giving birth to Varna Shankara, giving birth to living entities who are demoniac. And in the midst of that, that is exactly the reason why the larger portion of the population, they have no idea even of why they are born, what is human life meant for. Otherwise, a larger section of the human population always knew that I am born to get liberated. I am born as a human being to get liberated, to come out of this material energy and identify my spiritual nature. Whether impersonalism or what, all schools of thought, ultimately was liberation was there, the goal of everyone in the normal human population. So today's population is not a normal human population. Absolutely, even the so-called intelligent people, so-called educated people, they are completely blind about spiritual life, completely blind about their actual existential position as the eternal Brahman or servant of Krishna. And even with all that intelligence that they have for pursuing material education, including big professors and teachers and all these personalities who are in the pursuit of knowledge, they don't have this basic knowledge about who I am and what is the purpose of life. Of course, we have grown up in this particular culture, so we think that is nothing abnormal, because we were also part of that. But when you hear from the scriptures, from that perspective when you look, how would the demigods look upon the modern society? How would the acharyas look upon the modern society? How would the mahajanas look upon the modern society? This is the way they would look upon the modern society, as the way Prabhupada is seen. That is why he does not spare any words to admonish so-called thinkers and leaders of this world by calling them rascals and mudas. Because that is a Vedic perspective. So even though the situation is practically hopeless, practically the entire human society is also like an animal society, like a polished animal society, because animals are also eating, sleeping, mating and defending. And human beings at present are also simply eating, sleeping, mating and defending in a polished way. So it's a polished animal civilization. Human civilization means the goal of life is very clear. Man is to work only for his minimum subsistence. Rest of the time he would spend time in the real goal of life, which is to get liberated from this material world, get out of this birth, death, old age and disease. However, in spite of being in such a vulnerable situation in this modern, being born in this particular age, there is a hope, and that is a hope, as Prabhupada says, is the Lord Chaitanya's movement is a hope. Because by chanting the holy names of God, entire samskara can change. Total transformation can happen. Because this process is not depending on changing things from bottom, right from your body, mind, it changing. No, this process is not like first purify your body, your mind, your intellect and then the soul. That is a normal process of purification. By regulating all your bodily activities, mental activities, self-control, all these kind of things. Now, chanting of the holy name of the Lord is something that goes and acts directly, top to down. starts affecting the soul. When the material world is covering our soul, nothing can penetrate this covering and reach the soul except the holy name of the Lord. So the holy name of the Lord, or the incarnation of the Lord, cuts across the covering of this Panchabhuta body, Sukshma Sharira body, and then goes and touches the soul. That is why everything changes. Irrespective of what the yantra, our body has been, according to its karma, without garbhadana, etc., etc. Simply by chanting the holy name of the Lord, the population's demoniac mentality is killed. The Lord appears in different ages to kill the demons, one of the items. But Lord Chaitanya appeared not to kill the demons, to transform the demons. That was reminded by Lord Nityananda to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu invoked Sudarshana Chakra against Jagai and Madai, immediately Lord Nityananda caught his lotus feet and reminded him, no, your avatara, your incarnation is to actually show extraordinary mercy to the demoniac population. Please spare them. So that is how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not apply the Sudarshana Chakra to kill them. But he changed Jagai and Madai. So in the same way, and the appropriate weapon is also given by Sankirtana. Because Sankirtana directly goes and touches the soul. Every other sound goes ears and stays at the mind. You can hear, that's all. But the holy name of the Lord has got the power to penetrate and go and touch the soul. And then, as I said, top to bottom. Rectification first at the top, and then everything will automatically come. So this is extraordinary mercy of the Lord, that we are actually able to even understand that the purpose of life is to come out of this material world. We should not take for granted, if we did not come across Prabhupada, we would be as ignorant as everybody else in this material world. And what a big difference between that ignorance and this knowledge. It's a purposeless life. And so dangerous. Anywhere you can go back to the animal species. But now we are very fortunate to come across Lord Chaitanya's movement to Srila Prabhupada and able to chant Hare Krishna and actually change our entire mentality, demonic mentality, and sinful activities, sinful mentalities. All this can be changed. Not only our soul can be transformed, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra cleanses our mind, our intellect. Everything gets cleansed by the power of the holy name of the Lord. So therefore, all these that Prabhupada also said. Now what is the proper Garbhadana Samskara? Srila Prabhupada said, simply chant 50 rounds, husband and wife, and avoid prohibited days. Like Ekadashi, like Sandhyas, like festival days, Holy Dham, all prohibited places in the Holy Dham, in Sandhyas, Ekadashi days, festival days, fasting days. One should not engage in Garbhadana Samskara. Chant 50 rounds, husband and wife. Why? Because this 50 rounds, if you chant, then automatically what need for any other demigod pleasing and everything? Everybody is pleased. So Prabhupada has given this formula. Then good progeny can be brought into this world. Vaishnavas can be brought into this world, who will be a great contributor to this society. Serving such a personality will be a great opportunity for the mother to become purified. Serving a Vaishnava like that will be a great opportunity for the mother to get purified. In this way, Prabhupada has given us so much ample opportunity for receiving unlimited mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is totally unbelievable, unqualified for any living entity in this Kali Yuga. None of us are qualified. Even though the scriptures make statement that unless you are chanted, unless you have gone to all places of pilgrimage, unless you have gone to, you have done all your so many pious activities, etc., you would not be chanting the holy name. Only unto such person the holy name will dance on the tongue. Now we should not think that, oh, I am such a great soul. I myself did not know. Now Shastra is telling, in many, many lives I have gone to all pilgrimage places, I have done so many austerities, I have done this ajna, that ajna. Now I have forgotten. So now I got Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Because of all that. It is not true at all. Kalo Shudra Sambhava. Everybody is born as a Shudra. Then how do you reconcile that verse? Because of our touch with Srila Prabhupada, pure Vaishnava, and his desire is his mission. Even you distribute one book or something, his desire. That is when you accumulate all the pious credit. It is so powerful. Serving a Vaishnava is so powerful. You develop you get the same currency which you get by so many Ashwamedha sacrifices. There's a verse which says that thousands of Ashwamedha sacrifices cannot equal to chanting Hare Krishna once. Like that. So, by serving Srila Prabhupada, somebody asked this question to Prabhupada. This is what the Shastra says. Does it mean that, we have done pious deeds? Or the devotee said, we don't have any piety, so how is it that we are able to chant Hare Krishna? Prabhupada said, I have created that good fortune for you. Prabhupada, because of serving Prabhupada, therefore you just see, serving Vaishnavas is so powerful. Vaishnavas travel around everywhere for the sake of preaching, for the sake of liberating the living entities. Any service done to them, in material terms itself, it is a very high punya. Very high punya. So how much we should be indebted to Srila Prabhupada? We are not even normal human beings born in this age. That is our personal qualification. And then, over and above that, Prabhupada creates qualification in us. And then he gives us the holy name. And in spite of all these things, again we are so unfortunate that we have no value for the holy name. You cannot get holy name like that. Just because it is freely available, you don't think like that. It appears to be freely available. Because freely devotees have distributed. The holy name is agreeing to be freely distributed. Otherwise it cannot simply, anybody cannot by chance get a holy name on his tongue. He cannot get it. Neither he can get it on his ear. Fortune to hear even, he won't get it. Because it is so valuable. We have got it. We should value the holy name. As Prabhupada said, they can be raised to the human standard by chanting the holy name of God. In other words, we can become human beings only because we are able to chant the holy name of the Lord. We become human beings. Such is the unfortunate situation of being born in this Kali Yuga. At the same time, unfortunate, but those who get Lord Chaitanya's mercy, they are super fortunate than living entities in any other yugas also. The most unfortunate becomes most fortunate by the most munificent incarnation. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate. Most munificent Lord. So these incidences are all given in Srimad Bhagavatam so that, we understand how a civilized human being is supposed to live. If he has to actually go through the ascending process of pravritti marg, of doing the right thing every time, right thing, right action, right karma, right samskara, right everything, and then elevate and then get mukti. No hope. In this age, impossible. So when we hear these kathas also in Srimad Bhagavatam, we have to understand in a holistic manner, what did Prabhupada say? If you take Garbhadhana, you go to the Smartas, they'll all have Garbhadhana. There's so many demigods you have to please this thing, because it's in the Vedas. They'll have all those things. But we don't follow all those things. You can chant 50 rounds. This homa has to be done, that homa, morning this homa, then afternoon this homa, then the whole day busy. Then only you engage in Garbhadhana. Prabhupada made the whole day busy. Stop your service, chant 50 rounds that day. That's all. He gave this formula. In the same way, many things. The Vedic way of Muhurta. Oh, this is not a good time, this Muhurta is not good. If possible, you to see Muhurta. If not possible, chant Hare Krishna and do. If possible, whatever is normal Vedic things, you do. Vedic regulations. But don't go out of the way and have faith in the holy name of the Lord. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and then go forward with whatever you have to do. This is a method that Prabhupada has given us, because we know that is all those details. If you follow also, nobody can follow. Nobody can do a proper homa also in this age. The person who performs homa is not qualified, the materials are not pure, cannot even perform a homa. So what can be done is the homa of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The homa of offering your speaking capacity and your hearing capacity to the Shabda, holy name of the Lord. Any questions? जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।